Oh, in a way, if there are people who realize and recognize that they have been doing things not knowing what they were doing, and if they are seeking for help, feel free to access and feel free to share what's happening. And everything has a cure, and the cure is always to look inside and see it from within, and to let you understand how to come out of this space back to life, back to life. Is a work that I am interested to be sharing with people, and that's what I work personally with my friends, Yuvilka and Shimei. So we will be very open to help and to get these things beautifully done for anyone who comes to us. Thank you, Yuvilka. Thank you, Shimei.
Thank you so much for that, because it is important, um, all of us, maybe a small number of us don't. We dabble into things with hopes to get enlightened, with hopes to find answers to
Mm-hmm.
questions that we seek amongst all the confusion that we are fed since we are in the womb of our mothers. Because whatever confusions and stuff our mothers must have had transfers into us too. So we come out not knowing where the one way is, where the truth is, where to go. And it's a hope. And we'll open these portals, or we bring things into our home, or when we travel to other countries, bring things back with us unknowing. And it's
Mm-hmm.
so important that we at least have a place to ask those questions and to go get help, to
Mm-hmm.
go get healing, and come back to life.
Yes. Yavelka, can you briefly give us a quick recap of what Alif have provided for you in his awareness, him opening you up and helping you with your awareness, and how did that feel during, and what did you experience after, and how it benefited you?
Well, the conversation was amazing to have,
Mm-hmm.
because there are things that I have not spoken to with many people,
Mm-hmm.
not out of fear that I may have, but because of the lack of understanding that could be had when certain words are spoken. And I could only come from a place that I've experienced, and I can only speak about things that I know for myself to be true. And this is why when I walk into spaces, I say the Almighty. I say that there's one, although I don't know the paths, I just know. It's not something I believe, it's not something that you need to convince me of. I just know. So, in that
Mhm.
space is where Alif and I connected. From when he said, hey, to when I say, hey there. That was our first connection. And in our conversations, we were speaking about certain practices that I might have been involved in and dabbled in without knowing. We were speaking about tarot cards, and I call them power stones and crystals, and even chanting. There was something that I was chanting from another language that I didn't even know what it was, but because I saw the celebrity of the person, I was like, oh, let me repeat without not knowing what I was doing. So in that space and that's where we had this conversation. And he says something to me. And the thing is this: when Ali speaks to you, he'll say something to you in his tongue, but then tell you what it is. So you're not drifting out here in the unknown and in confusion as to what did this man say to me. He helps you to understand that. There was a moment that him and I had where he had asked me to close my eyes. And when I did that, I felt that there was an awakening that was occurring within myself. And we spoke about that in private because our sessions are protected in private. So we get to share between him and I. And this is why I'm being careful with the words that I'm saying, because this is broadcasted publicly. And the session that I have with him is private. However, I can share the experience. I spoke to him. It was a connection. And as the days, well, it's better said that as the hours passed, it felt as I was going through a revealing. There was things I can't even recall it now. There was something I saw and something that I felt that made me feel so clean and powerful, and it felt like it was a reflection of me, if that makes any sense. Because as far as the details going, I can't really recall them because the more time that passes, I'm not remembering, but I could tell you what I felt, if that makes sense.
It's like an awareness that you didn't have before.
No, I didn't have it before. Or better said, I always, like he's making me understand, I always had it within me. I just didn't realize.
I did experience you several days. How many days was that from your session with one-on-one with him to your recent exchange that you had with me that I'm going to
Hours.
share? Oh, it was
Hours.
hours. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that.
Yeah. It was
Within
hours.
within a few hours of your
Yes.
session with him,
Right.
you spoke with me in a
Mm-hmm.
way, and we speak every day, in a way and in a fashion that was new to me.
Okay.
You were receiving or providing me with messages that you didn't even recall. And I was writing them down, and you said, "Write this down." And that's not how you talk to me. And I'm like, okay, because I'm always at my desk where I'm sitting now. I have like 3 screens here, so I'm like, okay. And she was speaking very precisely about things, and it was really profound. It wasn't like, hey, you're going to get in a car accident. It was giving me a message from what she always references as the divine, and that I'll even share a little bit, very tiny bit, because that is her personal experience.
You can share
Was
the experience part. I just can't. If Alif says, that if this is something that can be shared, we can share it because I don't remember it.
it's
That's.
just what you said to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just one it's a very small suggestion. We can purely experience very beautiful experiences on this level, and I'm also very happy and grateful for that. Um, it's very good if we are careful about the textures and colors and features of this experience while we share. It's the best for the people who listen to be not knowing the colors and textures or other things, because they will seek to generate the same experience. For the experience that happens are independent and
Yeah.
individual on their soul level. So
Hmm.
yeah, of course, please share. Just that
That does make
we don't
sense.
want
So
people to be, yeah,
have a
we don't want people to
perception
be
that this,
hallucinating. That's
yeah. Okay. So your Velka's experience, your Velka's, not anyone else's, her experience and what I witnessed was conversations indicating, speaking, or she stated from the divine, delivering a message saying that people walking around indicating that they are God. You can't be God. we're only fragmented pieces of the whole. We are not God. Was a pretty profound conversation coming from her. It was really deep, even in her tone in which she spoke. She wasn't speaking as Yavelka, she was speaking as a third person. And in her explaining that, when she made that comparison, that people who are stating they're God, you cannot be me. Then she went into, as if she was the divine speaking, you cannot be me. I am whole. I am all omniscient. You can only be fragments. You cannot dress as me. You cannot speak as me. And it was like she was giving me breakdowns and definitions of what the divine was trying to say versus what people perception was. And she repeated it not over and over again. She repeated different definitions of the same message to make sure that it was understood. And it was really profound. And she even said to me, again with this tone, very, very strong, and says, oh, and something personal about my life. She made it a point to say, oh, and you're going to meet this person with these characteristics. And if they don't have these characteristics, this is not the person for you. But this person with these characteristics is going to come into your life, and this is going to be your husband. And I was like, what are you talking? And I'm laughing, but then I'm saying, oh my God, she's speaking. She is a vessel right now. She's not even Yavelka. And I am thankful that my sister, who I always knew had it in her and was ready for, experienced this awakening awareness. And you have made a woman who I already believed was extremely powerful, and she just needed that push, that cleansing, that awareness to be on her path to being completely whole. And you were able to open that door to take her in that direction. I thank you for that. That was truly like a blessing. And I hope that anyone who can work with you can experience that gift, and that they understand how fortunate they are if given the opportunity to have time with you to experience that. And I'm not going to share everything because, as I stated, she repeated that statement in different formats to make sure that anyone could understand what she was saying. She literally broke it down into 4 to 5 different summaries of, you can't be God. And that was so fascinating because I'm like, wow, she's giving me a different summary. She's giving me another summary. She's giving me another one. And before she told me to write it down, I was just listening to her speak. And then she stopped and was like, write this down. I was like, okay. So I got my pen. So it was fascinating how I'm absorbing it. And she knew that I needed to write it down because I would not have remembered it all. So that was my experience. And I was very happy to receive it.
Thank you for being my scribe for that moment, because I was being so present.
And she didn't remember. She literally did not. She said,
yeah.
What did I, like, what? And I was like, you don't remember? She was like, I don't remember.
Very well. Just to, I want to be very thankful to Shimeen for being patient and understanding that
Mhm.
you will come. When she said, write it down,
Mhm.
she never speaks like that. Because the first thing is on that realm of life, there is no respect. There is no, basically, respect is a drama. There is only love. There is only understanding. That's a space of absolute understanding or inner standing, like you will say.
Mhm.
Says understanding to be inner standing. Well,
Inner,
that's an
yes.
that's an absolute state of inner standing, and I'm very thankful to Shimeen for being present to her without judgmental mentality or something. The thing is that I have, when I really work with some people, they say your words are not respectful. I say respect is a dream. Wake up, because they can't take the truth as it is conveyed.
Mhm.
And whenever there is a light source, when there is a pure source taking you as a vessel to communicate, the first thing they say is 101, which is you are not one. You are you, which is zero, but you can reflect one. Yeah, that's how she was she was fragmenting it into, you are not the source, but you are a fragment
Mhm.
of the source. You
Yes.
cannot be the source, but you can give your vessel for the source to generate its light through you, where your hands can become the hands of source, your voice can become the hands of source. And this also comes to the happening where she said, where you mentioned that uh, I was not shared this experience this way, but I know it's through you, Shumain. The experience that Yuvalka had, I was not aware of it. I mean, I knew that there is a wonderful download going to happen because that was the intention.
Yes.
But I didn't know the experience. But I'm so happy the way you express it, because it shows me that the explanations and the fragments of multiple examples that Yuvalka was providing is an example of the clarity and the purity, and that it is from the right source. Because
Mhm.
I personally know, we know many people who are downloading from multiple sources, and they say they receive different codes and this and everything, but most of the time these downloads are happening from weird places. But when the source that's being transisting, and and uh, um, trying to produce a channel from the source through you to express it to the world, when it says that I am the source and you cannot be the source, and when she is able to receive it from the heart and share it to you, and when you are ready to receive it, that's the first example, that's the truth.
Mhm.
Because that's the state of no ego.
Mhm.
And the second thing is, when she shares with you, you're gonna find your husband, and she's gonna give you features that these are the qualities in that person. The qualities are the examples where you can logically believe, which means any enlightened being who were really truthful, who were walking on this planet as vessels for the divine to channel, they always spoke the divine codes in the language of human, which people can easily understand.
Mhm.
The first thing, and that was very important feature, and that was a very respectful and happy news for me to share with you, because people can just give codes and things like, yeah, this and this light and code and everything, but to speak the language of human and to express it to someone as precise as with qualities and examples, so that when you find that opportunity to meet whoever you are supposed to meet, you recognize the person without a doubt,
Mhm.
where the things are
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
Um, and these channels comes because of two to three things. The first thing is the fire for perfection, which I feel like Ivalka had in her. She was a
Hmm.
giver, because when I shared her, Ivalka, this is it. It's very simple. This is what I want to do. There's nothing that I want to do. She was giving me every opportunity to go out and do this. I don't. I'm very. I'm very. Uh, uncomfortable to use the word manifestation. I do pray. I pray, and when I pray to the source, I asked, I have this. You give me this. I don't have this. Whatever you give me, now it's time for me to give out. So I
Hmm.
need a channel where I can access the world and speak the truths that I would like to share, that you gave me and you made me realize. Because most of the time we feel like we are choosing the path. No, the truth is the path chooses us. That's the most important thing. The path chooses us. Our work and our steps chooses us. And to be very clear here, downloads can only happen with a proper. So whatever we were doing was a certain special safer place of receiving something. Uh-huh. And that receiving can only happen in a very protected and very safer zone, which needs to be provided, because the moment we are leaving our body to be a vessel, if the space is not protected, the body and energies can be attacked. So the most important thing is we have a very safe space to get this activation happen. And this activation can only happen once a being is totally willing to be in the path of perfection, surrender, and when they believe in perfection and in surrender to the source is very strongly embedded within the heart. And when they have a very strong foundation, uh, unshakable, because we cannot ask someone to climb a tree when they cannot walk on the road, when they are very clear with walking on the road. uh, yeah, then we can ask them to climb the tree. So she was ready with the walking path, and when she was really prepared, everything just resonated to be happening. And it's not me, it's not her, it is it that is dancing between. That's it. Yeah. But is this possible for everyone? This is why we are human beings. This is the beauty of being human. Yes, it is possible for everyone. Everyone. The formula is the same, but there are certain levels of work that someone must be doing in their physical level, to discipline the body, to discipline their hormones, to discipline their mind, to train their mind. How to train the body and mind is a whole learning and knowledge. And yes, you will go. We have these sessions and we have these teachings on a very personal level, and also available in groups, online, offline. And whoever wants to come, they can either come to Bali or they can either come to the mountains of Himalayas. So I'm
What do
fully
they
open to
expect when
share.
they go? I'm sorry. What should they expect when they go to Bali or to the mountains? How did you?
They if they want to experience life beyond what they think they know, beyond what they think and feel what they are, the idea of a human mind is to think that this is me, and that thought is the shell, that thought is the cage. And the first thing is to break the cage and to truly make them aware of their limitless capability of who they are, the limitless expansion of their being, of who they truly are, can only happen when they are willing to discipline their system on the physical, mental, and energy level. And this is basic. The whole understanding of knowledge is only on the body, mind, and energies. But these three are the very basic, and there is much beyond this. And what do they want to expect? They can expect the unexpected. Everything. It's a self elevational transformation, which cannot be expected, because expectations can only be from within the construct of experiences. Experiences create expectations. So expect the unexpected and be ready to embrace the new, that which is beyond, but which is true in its absolute sense. If they are seeking for truth, if they truly want to seek for truth, and if their fire is true, if their mind is intact, if they want to go party this, yes, if they are happy with what they are, if they want to just go the way they want to go, this is not their work. No, I'm sorry to say this. But if they truly want to live a life in its absolute sense of truly understanding who they are, what they can do, how much they can do, then mostly welcome. Every flower will bloom if they are nurtured and taken care properly. So this garden that which we provide is a very safe space where things can be nurtured in a very beautiful way without being corrupted. And all those programs that's been put in the human consciousness, into the matrix, which have totally programmed the human mind and the soul and heart into a corrupted state of sleep, can be brought up back if they truly take the initiative. We have good food. We have safer food. We have safe people. A lot of beautiful things here. That's it.
And the
There is a lot
beautiful
of power.
scenery. The beautiful
Yes.
scenery. And if I can share how it was for me, was I entered this space expecting nothing. I didn't expect anything to happen. However, I invited myself to be curious about what could happen, if that makes any sense.
Because
When
curiosity is fire. Curiosity is the fire. And if it's nurtured in a good way, there should be curiosity. What I don't see in people is curiosity. There is no fire. Fire, when the fire is kept in a proper way, then fire becomes the light to light the path that we walk. Yes, please carry on. Yeah.
absolutely, that resonated with me. I entered this space curious. Am I really seeing what I think I see, or what I know I think I know? It wasn't any, I just went in with curiosity. Am I really seeing? Can I see better? Am I really hearing? Can I hear better? Am I really speaking life into myself? Because I'm walking around with my ego like I am, and I'm this. But I felt very humbled in that space, if that makes sense. And anybody out there that knows me knows I'm not playing around with this. This is the first time this has ever happened to me in this manner. With this and with this with the strength of it, like that. I didn't think I know. Like, I know this. You know, I know that this leveled me up. I know that this opens me up in a positive way, even more to be connected to what I call my source, the Almighty. I know that I'm connected. And the thing is this, that I can't really explain it with words. As you can see, if you do the hashtag replay, this is something that's experiential. You have to experience this, and it's relational, because I trusted Alif to hold the container of a safer space for me to experience this. And with that, I'm
Uh,
complete.
I feel it's also a little bit important when Shimeen asked me to just put it, to expect the unexpected is also not a fair way of explaining what the work is all about. But to break it down onto a logical way of understanding, we are helping people to master their physicality, discipline it, to 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 be their own alchemist within their system and outside, to produce that awareness and that presence within them and around them, where they are capable of mastering, to surrender their unreal to the real, and to take the pure guidance from the source, to master all elements with them, all principles of um, human existence, which are thoughts, emotions. Because the most suffering that people, what is depression? Depression is basically continuous thoughts of something repeatedly running of that which we don't want to truly think about, which means that the vehicle, the car is running on its own, but we don't have any control on it, so it's going to hit everyone. So we are going to let them ride their car or their ship or their flight, and we're going to train them to do this. That's the game all about: their thoughts, their emotions, their physicality, their mind, and the other factors that which we were talking about, balancing their elements, their life elements, that which create the balance of life in them. The whole idea is that either life is in balance, which means the life is in harmony, or it is imbalance, which means that it's not in harmony. If the life is in balance and harmony within and outside, it's the first stage to connect to the ultimate. So the trainings happens with providing pure knowledge. I want to again say pure knowledge, because people ask me, is there a pure knowledge and is there another kind of knowledge? Yes. Now, where we are, and it's been there, when there is something pure, there is always something impure. And I'm not so uh, much in the matrix of delusion that I am. My masters and my teachers taught me strictly to speak in a way, when you see that it is wrong, say that it is wrong. But in the contemporary time period, in this present day, the knowledge teaches that we should be so wise that even if there is something wrong, we don't say that it is wrong. We respect it, we respect the person, and we say that it is okay to be that, but there is a better option. But the truth is this: when there is something wrong, it is wrong. Is there a right and wrong? Yes, on the physical level, in the nature of physicality, there is right and wrong. In the nature of mind and body, yes, there is right and wrong. But the person who master this structure, once this mastery is accomplished, they don't have to worry about right and wrong. It's not about right and wrong doesn't exist. There is no wrong then. There is no right then. There is only doing. And the doing comes from the source. So the source doesn't have to think if it's doing right or not. It's just doing. So to be precise, do you also want me, Yuvalka, to talk about our programs or something? I don't know if you ask me. Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you. So we have different sessions in mastering different levels of physicality in the body, in the mind level. Well, basically all of it, because we can't leave anything. We have to be taking care of everything. If we have a big house, we need to be taking care of all the rooms in it. Yeah, because yes,
The walls, the floors, the
everything
inside, the outside,
outside, everything, because if
top and bottom.
bottom, because the thing is this, if we are not taking care of every room, we don't know who else start living in the premises, you know, and we don't want that to happen. And the next stage is to work on the energies. We have different programs, and these programs are based on human self elevational transformation. There are some beautiful names also, and I don't want to confuse it. The name of the first stage is akabanisa, and there is another process connecting your murakaba merkaba into the right source that we need to connect, because the game is very different here. Our guides are not from the people who claim them to be like this and kundalini. No, I'm sorry to be a little bit critic here. I enjoy this because I enjoy to bring the wrong. I will pull it down. I'm a little bit violent here with love and light. I want to bring down what is unreal, and the real. It's not just bringing down. We will bring down the unreal and we will provide the real. This is the guarantee. Yeah.
It's
What?
almost like it sounds like it's almost like pulling the wool off of someone's eyes.
Yeah, absolutely. We are removing the clouds and we are opening up the sky,
There we
clear and
go.
bright. That's it. And here uh, we prepare them to go into the basic level course. I can't call it a course. It's a work of life. But for the understanding of this, we can call it a course if you don't mind. Yeah, yeah. So
A
this
course, a journey.
after this we have journey. Yeah, better journey, transformative journey of mastering and surrender and opening the heart. The journey is from mind to the heart to your soul, and soul to this divine source from which you came from, to remove all the blockages that doesn't let you see where you come from. We should never forget the way where we come from, and the first thing that we forget is that where we come from. So we are just reminding, this is the way you came from, this is where you're gonna go. You're not here forever. You're here for a work to be done, and everything that distracts you is not the work. So the distractions are removed, and if they are willing to experience something truly intense and strong and powerful, if they are truly willing and prepared to readily embody their divine purpose of life, then we have different other programs to activate that space within them on a very safer ground. Multiple programs like this to reprogram the matrix codes in your system, to reprogram the delusional programs within the system, to reprogram every kind of dark energies and everything. Everything can be cleaned the moment you choose to bring light into your heart, and we are
Mm.
here to help you with that. This is it. This is it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share this. I'm very thankful. Yeah.
It's so amazing. If we have any questions, um, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to ask for any of our viewers. Um, this is a safe platform. There's no question that's going to be ridiculed. So if there's a question you'd like to ask or want any more detail into, please feel free. And while while I have a moment to ask, what should one expect when they take this journey with you? how many days on this would you call it a retreat? Would you call it an awakening? What do you call it? And how many days do they need to set aside to experience this?
So hence every individual being is very unique, and they have um, different stages of their consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
um, this program has three layers, three stages, three doors, I call them. So the
Mm-hmm.
first door is for everyone. You know, this is the very basic one, where the mastery over their basic human um, elements,
Mm-hmm.
over their mind, their body, physicality. Because whatever that is driving us to the lower frequencies of not waking up or not being conscious are the fear, carnal forces, the uncontrollable. And what is fear? Fear is darkness. What is darkness? The lack of clarity. Yeah. When there is darkness, we don't see. And when we don't see, there is fear. So once there is clarity brought, they won't be afraid of anything. There is no more fear. And fear doesn't exist truly. Fear is just another thought. So when we understand what is thought, where these thoughts are coming from, it's a very detailed journey about how the mind works, and how the mind produces the constructs that is it is constructing onto the human consciousness. Because it's not only one mind. I have a personal mind, you have a mind, we have a collective mind, we have a cosmic collective mind, we have a super collective mind. It's a very funny and complicated and simple at the same time. For a person who look at this logically, it's very hard to understand. But if the eyes of your heart or inside is open to see, then it's like a penetrating arrow of light that it penetrates through all these fields and open it up and show you. So it's a program that can happen as a retreat or online, one to one, or in groups for 11 days basically. Mhm. Because there would be different stages of intense and beautiful moments, which also involves sharing, introducing different kind of practices, which are very carefully designed from a very conscious and careful structure of removing all those possibilities of creating unconscious portals to be open, and cleaning all those unconscious portals that are open in one to be closed and cleaned and removed, and to be rebalanced and reestablished in its pure form, which it is supposed to be. And this preparation needs to be done. Um, and there are also multiple work that needs to be done. So it totally depends upon, after the first session, the first program, which is from 7 to 11 days of session. If it's a personal physical one to one, I would like to take it into a 7 day, because it's much more easier. But when it's online, I would like to put it for 11 day, where I want to tune in with people and to make their logical mind that it is possible to do this online too. For example, whatever Yuvalka was experiencing was an online experience, because we are all meeting online on a different network, which is the network
Mm-hmm.
of souls or frequencies or whatever we say. So that doesn't have the geographical distance or time, because we are all connected. And when there is the openness to receive and to perceive the truth, um, everything can be done very easily. The thing is that we cannot smash the door open. The people who are there needs to be willing totally to include this journey into their heart and into their soul, and be ready if they are ready to know and receive the life in its absolute sense. The other three programs, we have other three programs which are intensive programs, highly intensive. Each one of them are 3 days. The first one is 3 day, Akabaniza. The second one is Burak, which is 3 day, and the last one is Muraj. That's another 3 day. So it's total 9. So the first one would be 17, 11 plus 3, the 9 would be like 20 days of yeah, 20 days of total program. But we have gaps in between, like 11-day program. After that, we give the people to process this out for a period of time, and once they are ready, we need to crystallize their non-physical realm which they have opened through the sessions, because once they master the physical and the mind, body, mind, and energy fields, their non-physicality naturally opens to them, because now we are all clouded and clouded within the physical dimension, so we don't know there is something beyond that. Once this
Okay.
is being open within the system, what happens is, what is next? you know Now there is no question of what is next, because this is enough, this is too much for me, is that which people are in the state. So once this is done, once this work is totally under control, they will always seek for the next, and we have the next. And these next versions are to elevate you to that space of, I don't want to name it, let's see it. Yeah. Thank you
Okay.
so much. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Thank you for explaining that. And I know on our time, I want to be mindful of our time. So, Yuvalka, how are we doing with our time?
That's a perfect way to end it. You know, absolutely. That's a perfect way to end it.